Ladies and gentlemen, there is a difference between being motivated and being disciplined. Motivation is an emotion. It is a feeling that comes and goes like the wind. You may wake up one morning feeling excited, energized, ready to take on the world, but by the next morning, that feeling is gone. You're tired. You don't feel like working. Motivation is seasonal. It changes with the weather of your emotions. But discipline, that is different. Discipline is not a feeling, it is a decision. Discipline is the ability to order your life according to principles, not emotions. Where motivation depends on inspiration, discipline depends on structure. Let me tell you, nothing great has ever been built on feelings. Nations are not built on feelings. Businesses are not built on feelings. Families are not sustained by feelings. They are built on discipline, on systems, consistency, and order. Motivation can get you started, but only discipline can keep you going. Motivation is the spark, but discipline is the engine. A spark may ignite a fire, but without fuel, that fire dies. Discipline provides the fuel, the daily habits, the repeated actions, the consistent choices that sustain success. Consider this truth. Discipline shapes character. Character is who you are when no one is watching. Character is not built by what you feel like doing, but by what you do even when you don't feel like it. Motivation may push you to act once, but discipline makes you act again and again until the act becomes a lifestyle. Vision without discipline is a dream. You can have the greatest vision for your life, but if you lack the discipline to order your steps, that vision will remain an idea, not a reality. Every great vision requires structure, routine, and consistency. So the question is not, how do I stay motivated? The real question is, how do I become disciplined? Because when you are disciplined, you don't need to be motivated. You rise in the morning not because you feel like it, but because discipline tells you it's time to move. You work on your craft not because you are inspired every day, but because discipline says this is what must be done. And here is the power of discipline. It guarantees progress. Motivation may give you a leap, but discipline gives you a marathon. With discipline, you may not see dramatic results in one day, but you will see undeniable results over time. Discipline is steady, dependable, and eternal. So hear me today. Motivation is good. It is useful, but it is not enough. Discipline is what wins every time. If you want success, if you want legacy, if you want your vision to come alive, don't chase motivation, develop discipline. Motivation is the feeling of being stirred up to act. It is that sudden rush of energy that comes when you hear a powerful speech, watch an inspiring story, or imagine a dream fulfilled. It is emotional fuel, but it is unpredictable. You cannot command it at will, and you cannot depend on it to always be there. Motivation is like the weather. It changes, and when it shifts, you shift with it, if that is all you rely on. Discipline, however, is not emotional. It is not about how you feel, but about what you decide. Discipline is order. It is structure. It is the ability to align your actions with your values and your vision, regardless of the emotional climate. Where motivation asks, do I feel like it today? Discipline says, this is what I must do today. Discipline is principle driven, not feeling driven. Motivation will inspire you to start something, but discipline will ensure you finish it. Motivation depends on your mood, but discipline depends on your will. Motivation is excitement in the moment, but discipline is commitment over a lifetime. One is temporary fuel, the other is permanent structure. One moves you once, the other builds you daily. Motivation is like a flame struck by a match. It burns brightly, but it burns quickly. It gives you a rush of energy, but that energy fades as fast as it came. You may listen to a powerful message, read a book, or watch someone succeed. And in that moment, you feel unstoppable. Yet by tomorrow, that feeling is gone, and you are left searching for the next spark to keep you moving. The truth is, feelings are unreliable. They rise and fall with circumstances, with weather, with moods, with the environment around you. If you build your life on feelings, you will live a life of inconsistency. Motivation can get you excited for one day, but it cannot sustain you through the days when the excitement is gone. That is why so many people start with passion, but never finish with results. Motivation is seasonal. It comes when things are favorable. But when life gets difficult, when results are slow, when challenges appear, motivation will abandon you. Discipline, however, does not need to feel good to function. It does not wait for inspiration. It simply executes. If you depend on motivation, you will always stop when the feeling stops. But if you live by discipline, you will keep going whether the feeling is there or not. Discipline is the foundation that makes life predictable. When a person is disciplined, their actions are consistent, and consistency produces results that can be anticipated. Just as a seed planted and watered daily will eventually grow into a tree, disciplined actions repeated over time will inevitably bear fruit. Success then is no longer an accident or a surprise. It becomes the natural outcome of structured living. Without discipline, life is uncertain and unstable. You never know if you will act today or delay until tomorrow. You never know if your effort will match your intention. But with discipline, you eliminate guesswork. You create systems, you follow routines, and you establish habits that guarantee progress. Discipline makes tomorrow more secure because it is built on today's decisions. A disciplined athlete can predict improvement in their performance because training is consistent. A disciplined student can predict mastery of a subject because study is regular. A disciplined leader can predict growth in their organization because actions are ordered and intentional. Discipline turns dreams into schedules and visions into timetables. And that order produces predictability. This predictability is not boring. It is power. It means you do not have to depend on luck, chance, or fleeting motivation. You can chart your course, follow it faithfully, and know with confidence that your outcome will align with your effort. Discipline removes uncertainty and replaces it with assurance. Motivation is fragile because it is tied to circumstances. When things are going well, when the environment is favorable, when people are cheering you on, motivation rises. But when obstacles appear, when progress slows down, when no one is applauding, motivation fades away. It is conditional. It lives off the climate around you. If the weather of life changes, the energy to act changes with it. This is why so many people begin strong but stop halfway. Their motivation was never rooted in conviction. It was rooted in convenience. As long as circumstances fed their excitement, they moved forward. But the moment conditions became uncomfortable, the fire went out. Motivation cannot survive in the cold winds of adversity because it depends on what is happening outside of you. Discipline, on the other hand, is not moved by circumstance. It thrives in both sunshine and storm. It is not dictated by how easy or how difficult the environment may be. Discipline functions when the crowd is cheering, and it functions when no one even notices. That is why those who live by discipline outlast those who live by motivation. One is dependent on the situation, the other is dependent on decision. Discipline shapes who you become because it forces you to act beyond feelings and convenience. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you are strengthening the core of your character. Character is not developed in the moments when life is easy and everything flows naturally. It is formed in the difficult choices, when you push forward even though you are tired, when you speak truth even though it costs you, when you follow through on a promise even though it demands sacrifice. Motivation does not build character because it only works when you feel good. It allows you to act in bursts but not in consistency. Discipline, however, chisels away at your weaknesses and molds you through repetition. It teaches patience, it teaches resilience, and it teaches self-control. When you are disciplined, you are not simply achieving tasks, you are shaping the person capable of carrying greater responsibility and trust. The strength of a tree is not in its fruit, but in its roots. In the same way, the strength of a person is not in the moments of excitement, but in the quiet, unseen moments of disciplined action. Character is the hidden root system of your life. Discipline waters those roots daily until they become strong enough to withstand storms. Eventually, your character becomes your reputation. People trust you not because you are motivated, but because you are consistent, dependable, and principled. Discipline ensures that your actions align with your values, and over time, this alignment builds the integrity that defines true character. A vision without discipline is nothing more than a dream. It may inspire you, it may excite you, but without discipline, it will never materialize into reality. Vision gives you the destination, but discipline builds the road that takes you there. Many people see the picture of what they want their life to become, but only those who submit to daily discipline will see that picture come alive. Discipline sustains vision because vision demands time. No great dream is fulfilled overnight. Every vision carries seasons of waiting, working, and enduring. Motivation may carry you for a few days, but when the road grows long and the process becomes difficult, only discipline keeps you pressing forward. It keeps you committed when results are slow, and it keeps you faithful when progress is invisible. Vision requires structure. You cannot simply hope your dream into existence. You must order your steps, create routines, and establish habits that protect and nourish that vision. Discipline becomes the guardian of the dream. It prevents distraction, it resists laziness, and it anchors you to your purpose when everything around you tries to pull you away. When you study the lives of great leaders, inventors, or builders, you find not just vision, but discipline. They woke up early, they repeated processes, they set boundaries, and they practiced consistency. Their greatness was not in the size of their dream alone, but in the discipline that sustained that dream until it became reality. Motivation is like the spark that ignites a fire. It flashes brightly, it gets your attention, it makes you feel alive for a moment, but a spark by itself cannot keep a fire burning. It needs fuel, it needs oxygen. It needs something consistent to sustain it. That is what discipline provides. Discipline is the engine. It takes that spark and turns it into steady power that keeps moving long after the excitement of the spark has passed. Many people confuse the spark for the engine. They believe that because they feel motivated today, they will succeed tomorrow. But the truth is, the spark can only start the journey. Without an engine, the car goes nowhere. Discipline is the force that converts inspiration into action and then into results. It keeps turning, even when you no longer feel the rush of excitement. Motivation might make you sign up for the gym, but discipline makes you show up every morning. Motivation might inspire you to start a business, but discipline makes you manage it day after day, even when profits are slow. Motivation might push you to write the first page of a book, but discipline makes you write the last page and finish the story. The spark is necessary. It awakens desire, but it is the engine that carries you to the destination. If you build your life on sparks alone, You will keep starting and stopping, burning out and reigniting, but never reaching your full potential. Discipline ensures that the spark does not go to waste by turning temporary energy into lasting momentum. Discipline is the training of both body and mind to obey a higher order than feelings. The body craves comfort, pleasure, and ease. The mind often drifts toward distraction, excuses, and fear. If left unchecked, they will control your choices, and your life will be ruled by impulses rather than principles. Discipline brings them under authority. It teaches the body that pain will not stop progress, and it teaches the mind that excuses will not dictate destiny. When you rise early to work, even though your body wants to stay in bed, that is discipline mastering the body. When you focus on study while your mind longs to wander, that is discipline mastering the mind. Each time you act according to principle instead of impulse, you strengthen your ability to govern yourself. That self-government is the highest form of freedom because you are no longer a slave to moods, cravings, or distractions. Motivation cannot do this because motivation depends on how you feel in the moment. It never trains the body or mind. It only excites them temporarily. But discipline rewires them through consistency.